I'm looking at my value, trying to check off these boxes. I know the old me couldn't have you.
Welcome to Right Here, Right Now podcast, where transformative conversation meets healing. I'm your host, Demir Wright, and each week we dive deep into powerful stories, insights, and techniques to help you heal right here and right now. Speaking of right here and right now, we got one of the deepest thinkers that I know here today that I brought in. He is a philosopher. He is a poet. He is a technician with the words. I'm talking about my best friend, Darrell Brown. Clap it up, clap it up. I need to hit the woo.
There we go.
Yeah, Nick, you not gonna clap it? You're not gonna clap? Nah, I'm just kidding. But I want to start this off super light. We've been friends for a long time. People do not know our background. They don't know the history. We have recorded these answers prior, but they've never been seen. So I bring it to you now, here live, 2024. How did we meet? How did we meet, and how did we become friends? We'll start there so we can bring them forward.
Well, there's multiple different occasions.
Yeah.
We could probably point to. Me personally, the one that sticks out in my head, of course, would be 8th grade summer. Goddamn, trying to try out for football.
Yes, sir.
First year in high school, of
Young
course.
Bucks. Young Bucks.
You start to smell your armpits a little bit.
Yes, sir. It was like, is that hair?
You know what I mean?
Is that chin hair?
Is that chin hair?
Is that chest hair? Chin. I'm grown.
You feel me? So, yeah, over 8th grade summer, we come in trying to play running back, both of us. Crazy, we both ended up not even being anywhere on offense. Years later, but
tragedy.
Trying to both be running backs. I was always the fastest kid in my troop. Come to find out, he was always the fastest kid in his troop. So,
yes, Lord.
Through sprints, we had to do some sprints at the end of practice, and everybody's dog tired. This guy wants to be fucking practice hero.
Yeah.
His first
Somebody
day.
has to be.
It's first day, so he starts going, and he's the first one to finish. And first one to finish, everybody's gonna peep. Well, okay, what's he got in his tape? You feel me? So I start walking down the line. I'm hearing whispers like, "Oh, you feel me? Go race him, go race him." I'm like, I've never been a bitch.
Yeah.
Keep it, solid. I've never been a bitch, so I'm finna go down there. I'm not even a social person. You feel me? I shy away from social situations, but it's competition. It's competition.
It's got to, bro.
So
both trying to start here.
You know what I mean? I go over. I don't even say shit. Cold face. I just look him up and down, kind of sizing him up, seeing what his reaction gonna be. He don't say shit. You feel me? Automatically that light a fire in me. Oh, he a dog. I'm a dog.
Exactly.
We finna see. Boom. Goddamn whistle blow.
Yeah.
Out the blocks like it's track, nigga. And mind you, we had a whole practice like this over summer, nigga. We out of shape, like we still going crazy. This nigga beats me by a step. From that day forward, it's like I've never been beaten, especially not when I initiate some type of contact. You know what I mean? Like, so that kind of humbled me, and after that, I was like, all right, I got some learning to do. There's I was always told, you feel me, you're gonna find somebody better than you, and it just didn't happen until that day.
Moment. It's crazy because from my perspective, I had just never been like openly challenged. Like people challenge you, but not in front of like what the people who try. It's like 100 kids. 100 or some kids try out for freshman football, and only about 60 people end up making it to 50, 60 to 50.
I'm gonna say that, 54.
And to just be openly challenged in front of so many people, and dudes riling you up, making it seem like, oh, here we go, and the fact that you moved in line, I was like, okay, this is crazy. And I felt like just from that moment on, the fact that when we finished it was respect, I was like, this is somebody who I need to meet. And I'm coming from a whole different place. We're both from Antioch, not from, but we both stay in Antioch, but we're going to school in a different neighborhood, a different area, a different city. So I'm like, I don't know anybody. And then Blackburn steps to me instead of being cool. He was like, nah, I'm gonna challenge you personally. And I felt like that was the start of something great. And it was super ironic because we end up living right around the corner from each other. In Antioch, literally, what is it, like a 5-minute walk at that?
Probably, yeah.
So it ended up being crazy how it all transpired, and then we end up living right next to each other. I think that was crazy.
That was divine intervention, right?
Right? I was like, bro, shout out GFB, bro, because like we both don't really have too many people, if anybody, who we really connect with from high school. Right. So it's intense or crazy to think that I could claim somebody to be my best friend, eventually best man in that place, because there's nothing else that I could say, like, oh, I remember this, I remember that, I kick it with him, no, there's nobody there, so I do appreciate it. That is super dope. But moving along, bro, I feel like you're one of those people who has really been able to reinvent themselves several times. Like I just said, like poet, fashionista, philosopher, and it's like there's so many different layers to you. What would you guys say?
Pause on the fashionista.
What's that?
The word just.
Oh my god, this guy. Swagster. You know what I mean? Somebody who knows how to dress, somebody who presents themselves as themselves, rather than like go to what's popular. You know what I mean? You've always done your own thing, and I guess that's what I mean. And with all those things being said, do you feel like it's hard to show everybody all these facets of you? You know what I mean? Like, is it, because again, there's so many sides of you that maybe I don't even know, or maybe somebody else doesn't know, but we've kicked it for so long. I know confidently that there is a person who has presented themselves in so many different ways and avenues that other people don't see. Do you feel like it's hard to share all those as you get older?
Yes. Me personally, I put it to just the thought process of not everybody is in your life for like ever. You know what I mean? Not everybody is going to be, in your journey for extended periods of time. So for me to kind of divulge into my truest form, and my truest form being multiple forms, because I am no diddy fluid in that kind of respect. Like I feel more comfortable being an empty vessel for the spirits around me and the energies around me. I like to, encapsulate and regurgitate all of that. But like, it's hard for me personally to get really invested into kind of breaking down all of those barriers with every single person that I meet, or every acquaintance that I assume will be a friend, because it's just like through trial and error. You feel me? You showing certain aspects of yourself, and then people kind of painting you in a box and kind of holding you from what you've shown, but you've not even been given the opportunity to show everything, because first impressions are everything, and all of these different mantras that people live by. But it's like,
in reality, do you really know the whole book by reading the first page?
Do you know the whole book by reading the back?
Yeah. Even though they gave us
a synopsis, but you feel me? You don't even, you looking at the author picture. You're dreaming, and you're trying to put all of your experiences on this person, and it's like that's what people do. Basically, biologically, like, it's just natural. I totally understand it, but it's like I've got to a space where I've learned to listen intently, like, and really try to focus on the meaning of like the small moments. And that's where I feel like you break down those barriers and you start to show all the different aspects of your character and who you really are when you really start to like talk about what you mean and what's important to you, and you're not just like small talk. Small talk is some like
it's too small.
It's too small.
It's too
like,
small
I'm
to
gonna
even
sit
put
there,
energy to.
Yeah, I'm not even finna give you anything back. I'm really finna listen.
I think it makes it even more meaningful to people like me or the people around you who are in your smaller circle, because it's like with all the energy that you just said, there's only select few people who you do deep talk with, where you're like way beneath the iceberg, and you're like again, our friendship has been so meaningful because it's been somebody to bounce off crazy ideas to crazy facets of life. The way that you perceive life through the different years in age, it just felt like you were always crazy wise, or that you had lived some kind of past life, but you're in that present right now, but somehow you're holding on to some knowledge that you already knew. Like, bro, I remember at one point you lived with me in high school, and
great time.
Great time. Yeah, great and bad time. Great time.
Bad situation. Great time.
Yeah, that's hella funny. But I remember looking through your YouTube. I think you signed into your YouTube, or somehow your YouTube was up on the screen, and I saw your history. And the things that you were watching compared to me was insane. It's just like, it was like just philosophical stuff, or like history, or like the ocean, or like the Egyptians, or like Black history. I was just like, this man's mind, this young man's mind is absorbing crazy amount of energy from real knowledge, rather than somebody who's stuck in like this me, like, oh, I'm gonna take pictures of myself. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all these. I'm on Snapchat 24/7. Like, bro, you never really had that huge social media presence. Like, you never like tried to, and I always thought like that was insane, because like we know how I was the opposite. You know what I mean? And I felt like obviously we grew up differently, and I grew up in a way where it was advertised to be the way you're supposed to be. You know, to be the coolest person. Everyone's got to think that you're cool. Everyone's got to know that you're super cool. And I felt like somehow you had that security in yourself to just, if they mess with you, they mess with you. If they don't, they don't. But either way, they're not going to know who you are from your phone, from like a picture. Yeah. How do you think you were able to develop, like, what do you think got you to be there at such a young age, where it was like, you don't need so many eyes on you for people to think that you're cool? Because you still had hella friends.
Definitely was still someone who they would consider popular. Like, when
exactly.
I still talk to people, like, I see people outside in the world that have probably known me in high school or knew of me or whatever. Like, they talk about me as if I was like some sort of like higher figure. And to me personally, I always felt like the bottom barrel type of like nigga. I'm with everybody. Like, I'm just a part of the crowd. Like, I've always felt more comfortable in the back of the room than in the middle of the room or in the front of the room. Like, I'm cool with being at the party and being there. I didn't have to be in none of the pictures. You didn't have to remember I was there. That didn't matter to me. It was always like a personal thing for me. Like, what am I finna get out of this? You know what I mean? Like, what is this really gonna do for me? And I never got validation from like people liking me. That was never like it felt good. Like, of course, like, you know, you seeing your peers and how they're being validated and stuff. Like, you want to have the same type of interaction and stuff, but it wasn't something that like I yearned for. It wasn't something that like I woke up and I got dressed to get validation.
To be like, all right, everyone here is gonna know these shoes pop.
Fuck no, I was never someone who looked for access friends or excess attention. Like, I was a class clown, yes.
Yeah.
100%. But that's just me being me.
Yeah.
I want to have fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to be funny. That's the easiest way to connect with the most people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also finna sit in the back of the class and not
facts.
say nothing. You know what I mean? Hood on.
Yeah.
And chill out AirPods in. And nobody even knew who I was. But I feel like it probably came from two different areas. One, just trauma. You feel me? Like, trying to do those things and getting beat down so bad.
Not getting the validation.
You know what I mean?
The opposite.
Like,
yeah, the opposite.
Total opposite. And you're like, oh,
it
don't work.
Yeah, it don't
you
work.
feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you trying extra and it's getting thrown right back in your face as if, like, that was the issue. You trying. So then you stop trying. You feel me? Or if I really think about it personally, it came because I didn't really have a phone. Like, if we're really gonna be honest,
that's crazy
if we're
to
really
think
gonna
about.
be honest,
That's crazy to think about.
It's not even something that I could really put my mind to, because every other week or every other month I don't have a phone because it broke, or my mom didn't want to pay the bill because I got in trouble, or blah 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 blah. All the different things, you feel me? I just didn't have a phone. There was literal spans of
I remember now
months,
that you say that.
you know what I mean?
There was
like time that, like, if you knew me, we only talked because I seen you. If you didn't see me, we didn't have a conversation. You didn't know what my life was. You didn't know what was going on with me. You see me, and when you see me, it was gang. I'm taking all the energy in and regurgitating. I'm not being me because I can't be me. That's like, that would be crazy. Like, that's gonna be a party pooper.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, I'ma always try to, you feel me, be somebody that's, what's the word? Somebody that's like, it's a weird way to say it, but tolerable. Like, I don't have a definitive opinion on that person, because, like,
they don't necessarily they don't necessarily bring so much energy to this situation that it makes it so that I'm judging this huge thing. It's more of like, they were there, they were chill, and I don't have good or bad things to say necessarily because they haven't gave so much for me to have an opinion on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's interesting that you say that, because it's like, does that really mean opposites attract in our situation? You know, a friendship, like me being the one who wants to get us to here and there and seek all this attention, and you be like, nah, like, we can just chill. You know what I mean? But then we end up going somewhere, we end up doing something, we end up being in front of people, or we end up just getting some kind of spotlight just because, like, when you're in a real brotherhood friendship, bro, you rock with what you're rocking with. Like, if we doing this, we doing this. If we chilling here, we chilling here. If we out to eat, we out to eat. If we're taking our females here, we both taking our females here. So I think that it's interesting to hear and, like, to kind of play that movie back of, like, you saying how you felt, and then the reality of, like, what situations you had to be in because of me. It's so funny, bro. Really? That is so funny. Moving along, because we are now grown men. You do have a daughter. That is one of the most special things ever, man. I've already told you congratulations multiple times, but I do want to congratulate you because, again, with that reinvention, with all the different facets of you, bro, it opened up even more layers, more depth to you, and, like, even being around you now, there's a certain fatherhoodness that you, like, I don't even know how to describe the energy, bro, but I just think you've been an amazing father, and you've been somebody to look up to through all the trials and tribulations of just fathering, you know what I mean? Not even just all of life. And I guess to get to my point is, how do you think fatherhood has changed you, and what does the reinvention look like and feel like?
That's a great question.
Thanks. I actually wrote that down prior to.
No, really, that's something I probably sit with every day. That's something that's constantly on my brain. being that me and the mother of my child aren't together, that's something that like I wanted. You know, like I wanted. You know, I came from a 2-parent household. Like I've seen the different ways people grew up. You feel me? Like not having their dad or not having their mom or bouncing back and forth from both, or you know, like I've seen all the different facets of growing up. I feel like in my 25 years of living, and it's like the biggest way that fatherhood has changed me personally is just I didn't know, and I don't think anyone really will understand how selfish they are, like how selfish you are, like just on the basic level,
like the actual parents.
Yeah, like before you have a child, just human beings in general. Like I don't think you really like people are. Oh, I love to give. I love to da 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 da. I hear you.
Yeah. Sound good.
I hear you.
Sound good.
But that's like when you want to. So having another life that you have to. It like there is no. I don't feel good. There is no. I didn't get enough sleep. There is no. We don't have enough money. There is no nothing. There is no personal anything. Like that's what really changed in me. Like, and it's probably like, you feel me? You know, probably was a toxic trait in my last relationship. We don't know, but like I really didn't have the room to worry about anything. Not a person. Not anything. Not a job, bro. Like not anything. I didn't care about anything, but my daughter. Like, and to this day, like it's still that. But like I understand my responsibilities. I understand like emotions. You know what I mean? Like I'm more emotionally intelligent. That definitely came with having a daughter. You feel me? Like I have to really try to figure out a whole person's mindset that can't speak to me. Now everybody else can speak to me and communicate and da 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 da. She can't, and she's a whole nother gender. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up with all brothers. You feel me? Like I don't know how to do hair. I don't nails. Like Barbies. I don't.
I just painted some nails for the first time,
bro.
Last week. I was like,
hey.
There's a bottom color. I thought that was just
bottom
the
top,
color.
A clear.
The primer.
What?
The primer.
Bro,
is
so,
this paint? Is this paint
like
wall? Yeah.
There's a lot of different things that come with a child, but also having a child of an opposite gender. I learned that even with my girlfriend now. She has 2 kids, right? Older daughter, younger son. Daughter, okay, of course, is easy for her. You feel me? Boom, that's your best friend. Y'all click clack, but now you trying to raise your son.
Wow.
Is like.
Wow. No lie.
Exactly.
But the son, it's like. You like Spider-Man? You know what I mean? It's like
jiggle it.
It's like what do you want to do? But it's like as a man, you know exactly what you wanted to do. You wanted a rough house. You wanted to play ball, bro. You wanted to actually believe that you were that superhero. You wanted to make believe. You wanted to fight. There were so many things, bro. Yeah, forts mess stuff up, breaks something.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so no, that is so interesting, but it's crazy that you talked about having a daughter and that being the opposite sex. That was something that I actually wanted to bring up. How do you think, maybe this is like super deep, but do you think that having a daughter changed your view on women in general? Because now you're technically raising one, and you're a man,
right.
But you're trying to raise a woman, right. Which is so like it sounds like it's such a normal, but in reality it's like that sounds actually crazy to me.
It sounds very patriarchal.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, like think about it, because like what does that mean? Like what does raising a woman mean? Does that mean that you're raising a woman to be what you respect, or does that mean that you're raising a woman to respect herself? Like, what does all these different things mean in raising a woman?
I'm not gonna lie to you. this is like, God bless
God.
the universe,
Oh, okay.
God,
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yahweh.
Freedom High School.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen,
Yo,
all I can say
yo.
is bless all the numbers, the gematria, whatever you want to throw it to, for the woman I have in my life right now. I just be totally honest.
Clap it up for healthy.
Bro, like, I would have never been able to be this emotionally accepting of things I'm uncomfortable with. Like, I really don't think any woman could have brought that.
You out of that.
You know what I mean? Like, I was such in a, I don't know where it was from. I don't know, like, I don't know. I had such a hard thought process on how, you know, a woman should be, or girls in general. You know what I mean? Like, just from experiences and hearing, you know, I got older brothers, older cousins, like, just hearing all the different stories, you feel me? Like, stories from my mom, like, I had such a hard wiring on what I thought womanhood was, or is, or should be, and with the help of my lovely wife to be, I'm gonna call her that because sooner or later,
like
but
that.
best
Like
believe
that.
I'll be on that knee. But she's definitely opened my eyes on what it means to be a woman, and what it means to raise someone. Being that she, you know, she does have a experience over me. Of course, my daughter's 1.
Yeah.
She has a 6 or 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. Like, definitely has years over me in that aspect. But she didn't grow up with her mom. You feel me? So a woman to grow up with a stepmom, right?
Different.
Now that's a big piece. One, that I had a stepmom as well. I didn't grow up with my stepmom, but I did have a stepmom that I knew of and went to her house. All, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up with the understanding of having 2 moms. You know what I mean? Like that. So, in my situation now, with her having to live a life that my daughter is now going to have to live, if you really think about it, not growing up with. Well, she's gonna grow up with her real mom, of course.
Yeah, but
like,
now she has that symbiosis.
You have that symbiosis of, I have this mom here, this type of life here, and I have this life here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be hard to try to nail her down as a person. And I've taken that as, like, that's on me, being that I didn't have a household that, you know, you're growing up with, but I'll take all the accountability. I don't care. It's not even that. It's not that deep. But just hearing from her, you know, her aspects of living and respecting herself and everybody, and, like, the way she loves is, like, as long as my daughter loves me and herself the way my wife to be loves me and herself and her kids and her life, like, I have no qualms with
gripes.
I have no opinions on what you should do, how you should do this. I don't even really care. I really want you to love yourself and whoever you bring into your life. Like, that is the most important thing to me. And that's what I'm gonna teach her from day one, like, you feel me?
That, like, what that you've already been doing. So basically, it sounds like you've been able to grow in such a way where you are in a state of, like, hey, yo, I'm setting the example, and, you know, you're gonna learn what you learn over there, but over here, I'm gonna set the example of this is how I love, and it's the healthiest love that you've known. Real love is what's going to make you, it's going to push you to be something that you haven't been. It's going to push you to be more. And I think the craziest thing about healthy love and being more is what it takes. what you gotta put in, what you gotta sacrifice.
What really sparked when you said that in my head, is being me personally. I've experienced it. I've had a lot of women. That sounds crazy. I am not that guy, but I've had a lot of women tell me certain different things in all different ways. And I feel like just like you said, like real love, like the healthy love, that type of love, like a motherly love, like when you receive that from a woman that you're, with, like you're not, it's not a question of what you're sacrificing or what you're giving up or what you're changing. It's really like a no-brainer at that point. It's not even like a thought. It's more like, oh, I want to. Thank you for sharing. I am so grateful. Like it's such a different reaction that you get.
Yeah.
From yourself.
Yeah. When
you receive the love that you need.
That's so crazy.
And a lot of people think that, like, they're giving it to you, or like, why is, you feel me? And you could even think that yourself, why am I not happy? Like, why is it, like, doing everything right in your head? But, like, there's certain different, like, I feel like there's really, like, energies, and there's real, like, things that we don't even think about. Like, we don't even, like, have where to start to think about. You know what I mean? You don't even have a starting place. And I feel like that is one of the biggest mysteries in the world, because I can't even put it to words. Why it's so easy, or why it, you feel me?
Why it flows.
I can't. I couldn't tell you. The only thing I can tell you is this is what it was supposed to be. Like, literally.
I think the craziest thing hearing that is, like, it almost makes you be a man. It, like,
bro.
It, like, pushes you to be that real, true, masculine alpha, whatever you want to call it. It makes you, put your own labels on it, but it makes you step the F up. Yeah. It makes you step up to the point where it's like, if something needs to be done as a man, your brain wiring kicks in. It's like, I'm going to solve that problem.
Dude, and it's crazy not to be asked.
Yeah, because
all your life, people tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Or how to do, or when
now
you're like,
I'm already getting it done.
I thought about that 2 days ago, and you asking me about it right now, but look. Baby,
it's done.
It's finished. It's done.
It's done.
What are we talking about?
Can't make it better.
Like, for real, like, you like really start to go out of your way, and that's where I go back to how selfish you are, because, like, there's a lot of small moments in time where you could go that extra mile or do that little thing that could be monumental for somebody else. Yeah. But we don't do it most of the time.
Yeah. What I've learned in my season is that it doesn't matter how big something is to you. Whether that's an argument, whether it's a problem, whether it's anything. It just matters how it feels to them. So treat everything with the same grandiose that needs to be, because you may not know the impact of whatever it is that you just did. And for me, that changed the entire game. Because I thought that, like, if I don't care, we don't care. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Exactly. But if you rocking with me, this is...
If you want me to lead, you know what I mean? But a real leader listens to everyone who's actually trying to follow.
A real leader listens to the ones who aren't speaking.
That might be a quote.
Bro, a real leader listens to those who aren't speaking. They see the sick ones in the back struggling. They gonna go to the back of the line to make sure no predators get them, and they ain't even, you feel me? Like, they gonna see the mamas with the babies, and they're gonna, it's an automatic. It's, you feel me? Like, it's just something in you. It's something that's, like I said, energy. It's something that's, like, untouchable. I can't even, you feel me, grasp it. I can't even try to really, like, understand it. All I know is the fruits that are coming from the labor. That's all I can see, and I'm gonna keep picking the fruit, and I'm gonna keep sowing the same seeds.
In fact, because
it's growing.
Great harvest. It's a great harvest. This month, I don't know. I thought October wasn't the month. In fact, I'm like, is this in scripture too? Sevenfold.
He did say it. He did say it. It will come back.
Yeah, facts. Sevenfold. I heard that.
Man, oh man, I have definitely been in the season of sowing the seeds of the fruit that I want. And I feel like that's a big thing is watching where you're gardening.
Watching where you're gardening.
Definitely.
And what soil you choose to garden in. And
what you water, everything. Watch what you're gardening because
it's gonna grow.
It's gonna grow. It's gonna grow. And sometimes there's weeds. You didn't see the weeds.
Might grow slow, might grow fast.
But them weeds grow faster than them crops.
And you gotta pull them out. If you don't pull them out, they gonna grow.
They're gonna strangle them crops.
Well, and it's crazy to think about that. That really brings me to my next topic, and to bring it back as well into the healthy love. Speaking of healthy love also comes with healthy conversation. Healthy conversation all comes with healthy arguments.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I think my question is, how difficult has it been to not revert back? Because I find myself sometimes when I'm in an argument, sometimes I see my old version of me trying to creep up, and you're like, I can say that. I can say that, but this time, I know I don't mean it. Like you're so
I know
far,
I don't mean it.
You're so far away from what you were that you get like a second wind or a second thought right before you say something crazy. You're like, wait a minute.
I feel like it's you finally learning a lesson. Like when you finally learn that lesson, you can't go back. Your body is not going. You learned the lesson now. Don't do it again.
You already passed that test. So why would you fail on purpose?
On purpose. That's stupid.
Yeah,
I've never been dumb.
I'm not dumb. I might be crazy.
I might be crazy.
I'm not dumb.
Not dumb.
Nah, that's insane. I think it goes along with something else that I was talking about in my last podcast, which is honoring your evolution.
Yeah.
Honoring your evolution. That is so huge because it's like if you've grown, you know that you've grown.
You put the work in to grow.
You put the work in. You did everything. You sowed them seeds. You made a nice garden. Why would you then go and mess it up on purpose? And don't get me wrong.
Anger
self-sabotage.
is a very powerful thing, and I've learned that anger, emotions in general, all of them, very, very powerful things, bro. And they definitely run the world, and they have an essential function in the way the world works. But me personally, I've got so far out of the emotional reactions. That's where, like, I feel like my biggest lesson was, like, because I'm an emotional person. I'm a Pisces. If we're going to go zodiacs, I'm a water sign, blah, 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 blah. I'm definitely very emotional. But I've learned that emotions are definitely something that you have to master. And that's positive emotions and negative emotions. You have to be able to ride the waves.
Talk to the people. What game would you give somebody who is emotional but doesn't have the same self-restraint or the same growth that you've already endured? What did it take, or just what is a technique that you think that goes through your brain now? Because obviously you put in so much work that, like we just said, you already watered such a great garden now that it's like, why would I go back? But if you were to think about going back, what advice would you give your old version that the viewers, somebody who was in that same state, could benefit from?
Me personally, my biggest lesson that I had to really pound in myself, and I still do it to this day, I'm a big respect person. I'm a big, like, like, I try to treat everybody with the same, like, just natural, like, courtesy, you know what I mean? But my biggest lesson was to figure out that no one or not to figure out, but to really believe that no one can make you anything. No one can make you do anything. No one can make you be anything. So when you feel as though, oh, they did that, so I had to, or this, that, those emotional reactions, that was my biggest thing, because I always felt like I was being disrespected, or somebody is trying me, or you feel me, like somebody is testing me and I'm not finna fail, like, you know what I mean, like, I just always had a die for respect type of emotion in my heart, and I feel like with having children, you feel me, and having people that, like, you're not thinking about yourself anymore, like, that was the biggest thing, like, just not being selfish, because all of that is really selfish. Like, you're not thinking about going to jail and all the people that's gonna have to put money towards you, or all the people worrying about you. You're selfish. That's the biggest thing I feel like, you feel me, you really gotta learn is stop being selfish.
Wow.
You feel a certain way about it, and you have your opinions and blah, 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 but so does everybody else.
Yeah.
And they might be different.
Yeah.
So,
no,
chill the fuck out.
That's
like,
that's insane that you're able to bring the one lesson. Like, that's why I say you are a philosopher. People don't understand that one lesson could change it all. Yeah. That one lesson that you said about being selfish way back in the conversation is something that you're able to bring up in another facet of life, when it comes down to anger, when it comes down to raising your kids, when it comes down to being a better partner, it sounds like, when it comes down to be a better son or a better friend, or just giving better energy to the world. It was one thing, and it's a very big thing that I want the viewers to understand, that one lesson can, if you change your perception of life, one thing that you learn can really be the breakthrough to get you through so many different things. And mine was honoring evolution, because again, it brought me away from being in that spotlight, trying to be this and trying to be that. Don't get me wrong, we're in front of a camera, but instead of me trying to put myself out to be this super cool guy, I'm actually just having conversations that I would behind cameras, but you know, hoping that it reaches somebody who can help. Because there's people who know us, but they don't know us. You know what I mean? And I think that's huge. Like, even the person who I put out who was super cool, no one knows the person who's talking behind this camera now and is trying to...
Nobody knows the guy that was sleeping head to foot with me and damn goddamn, what was that time? Was that a queen side mattress?
We're talking
Nobody
about
knows that guy.
Conquered?
Nobody knows that guy, dog. I know that guy.
Going through the struggle. Going through the struggle. Sleeping on the floor, bro.
Man, thugging.
It's not lit, bro.
Thugging, bro.
Driving in the one car. We were going back and forth to school.
Playing football.
Bro.
Dude, we were really...
Or walking home from
an hour
Oakley to
Antioch with a football bat. Fuck.
No bike.
No scooter, no skateboard, nigga, your feet. We about to teleport. That's what we used to say.
Nah, facts.
We about to teleport. Fuck are you talking about? Remember we was just at school an hour ago? Be home, nigga.
It seemed like we didn't move quick with it, knowing damn well our legs hurt the whole time.
Man, but shit, we teleporting. Fuck it.
And I think that's a true testament, man. That same mindset of teleportation has helped me get through a lot of different seasons, you know.
Definitely.
Mind you, it hasn't always been the best way of thinking, because my teleportation sometimes goes to autopilot. And I feel like that was a season.
That's still something I struggle with.
Yeah,
you can ask my girl now.
Trust me, I understand.
If I get triggered by something, I still struggle with, like,
going
coming
offline.
out of that. Like, I'm just gonna play a game. Like, I'm not even worried about nothing. I'm just gonna play the game because that shit just threw me all the way off. But let me put the game. Actually, baby.
Yeah.
When that happened, I am been with it, and I love you so much.
Does that happen after you play the game, or does that happen prior to?
I'm gonna keep it a bean. I definitely pick up sticks for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie for the camera. I definitely pick up the sticks, and I have to decompress and think about how I want to say it. And that's the biggest thing. Is like, instead of shutting down and just shutting down completely, I shut down, but my mind is still like trying to piece. And how could I say this without, you know what I mean, causing too much of a rift? How can I already caused a rift because I shut down a little bit.
And so like, she already already did it. Already did some of it. I didn't go all the way where
I'm not all the way old me.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely, you feel me, still in a transitional period.
Yeah.
And that's why I love her the way I do, because not everybody is going to be understanding of, like, even not everybody's going to be able to hear that. Like, we've had real conversations, like, you feel me, like, we've had deep conversations, and that's I think is also very important. Is like, a lot of people don't have those conversations with somebody you're giving your whole body to. Like, you're literally, you feel me, exchanging everything.
Energies,
spirit,
life.
energies, liquids. You know. So, me personally, man, that was one of the main things that I still, to this day, I'm like, yeah, bro, like, you have to really push yourself to say the things that even hurt you. You feel me? Like, you can't be scared to hurt you yourself or your partner. You have to be able to
that vulnerability,
get it on,
that rawness. And I think it's something transformative as a man to try to fight against your own ego.
Bro.
Especially in real time.
It's
one thing to be like, oh yeah.
Your pride and your ego in real time, when you've actually been tested in your face.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's what? Who are you?
It's another thing to be like, oh, this is what happened in that situation, and then you can talk it through, and you're like, okay, I can be kind of vulnerable, but it's like in the real time to be like, I'm feeling it right now.
I actually feel hurt.
Yeah, and I'm
and I'm telling you, bro, that you hurt me.
Gosh, telling a female that she hurt you is like, it's so foreign.
Deep, bro.
It's so foreign. So foreign. Hey, I just wanted to let you know what you did a second ago. I know it wasn't a big thing, I don't know what you meant by this. I just want to ask for clarification, and then you get the clarification. You're like, I'm glad that I said it.
Yeah.
Because mind you,
my mind goes way farther than
suffering in silence, bro. I feel like suffering in silence, like trying your best not to suffer in silence. It's so crazy to have somebody that you respect so much. You respect them so much that you don't want to suffer in silence because they wouldn't want you to suffer in silence.
They're going to suffer from me suffering. I care about you so much that I wanna make myself feel better. I want to make myself be what you fell in love with all the time. And that's a big thing between me and her, is like, we literally make it a point, like, every day but like at the end, like, we shower together. That's like, if I would come home, you're not gonna shower.
Yeah.
If she didn't come home, I wouldn't shower.
Wow.
Like, we shower together. That's like
that's
our connection. We finna lock in.
Yeah, that's your like spiritual. Right. Like, we need to stay connected.
Don't even gotta speak sometimes.
Wow.
Sit there and literally could look, and I could feel it all. We were like exchanging everything that needs to be, everything I need off of me, I'm putting on her. Everything she needs off of her, she's putting on me. Wow. With no words.
Wow.
And even after like that connection, we will talk about what was going through our head, and every time it's literally the same thing. Like, we were literally, I knew exactly what you needed.
Wow.
And I just told you. Yeah. And now that's our confirmation. Like, is this connection real?
Wow.
Because a lot of people could say these things.
Like, we're so connected. Yeah.
No, nigga.
Yeah, but talk about it in two different rooms and then see what you come back to.
Come on now. Like, when earlier on in our you feel me?
Yeah.
In our relationship, going to our first concert, I'm driving. Mind you, we're cool, but we, you know what I mean? We still feeling it out. So, like, I'm not doing hella extra, but I'm driving. And I literally, like, I didn't even look at her. Like, I felt, like, she wasn't looking at me either.
Yeah.
Like, I felt
something.
like, touch me.
Yeah.
Like, why aren't you touching me?
Yeah.
Like, I felt it, though.
Yeah.
I looked at her. She smiled. Like, you know, everything's good. Everything's sweet. I kept driving. Looked at it again.
Yeah.
And she was like... And she, like, grabbed it. It was, like, hella juice. Like, I was like, oh, shit. Like...
Yeah, like, you acted upon that intuition, that gut feeling. Or, but you know what it could be, though? I used to call it like a soul high five. I used to call it like a, you know what I mean? Because you got to think about it. Both of you guys aren't talking. But something is having conversation.
Something is definitely...
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I feel like it's like the definition of like a soul combo. Yeah, spirit, something. Like, it's gotta be something.
Definitely has to be something unseen happening because there's no way there's things like gut feelings and there's something there.
Yeah,
there's something that's like tugging or pulling and giving you that sensation. And it's crazy because one of the big things, not to get off topic, but I'm about to be an electrician. I'm becoming an electrician. I'm in school. You feel me? August of next year.
Congrats on that.
I will be an electrician. So, literally learning about electricity and energies and volts and all these different things, ohms and all type of shit. Like, it's crazy to think that that like, okay, so they say a circuit won't work unless it's closed.
Yep.
Right? All of our wiring are closed circuits. Right? If any of our wirings popped open, there would be a lot of energetic potential
right there
at both ends, but they won't ever
meet.
They won't move. No matter how much force you put upon them, they won't move until that connection
is closed.
And that made me think, okay, electricity won't work unless it's a closed system. We are electrical beings.
Correct.
We won't work unless we're in a closed system.
Body.
This is our closed system. When you short circuit, that means two wires are touching. Right? Now that could be the toxic relationships. These wires aren't supposed to be touching. It's gonna spark. It's gonna short circuit. It's gonna be fire, combustion, blah 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 blah. Don't work. When you get, you feel me, the perfect circuit series, and you get the perfect amount of energy / voltage to push those electrons through, they're gonna go automatically without no added force.
It's just gonna work.
It's just gonna fucking work.
That's fire.
And that's where I was like, damn, bro. Real life, you're going to have to meet somebody who closes your circuit. We are electrical beings, and we are sitting in this circuit here, and it's just open. We just throwing out energy left and right, blah, 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 blah. When you make that connection, you feel me? That's when your energy actually works for its purpose. Now we got all this energy potential. Everybody got it.
Yeah.
You got that potential. But until you close that circuit, you'll never work for your purpose. And that was the craziest thing, and that's why I'm 2 weeks in. I'm loving this shit already.
Hey man, I'm just so proud of you, bro. I think it sounds like, again, you only get to these aha moments. You only get to these spiritual milestones until you put yourself in the right place at the right time with the right people. I think that's a great place to end it on. Is your purpose, and you're making sure that your energy is in a closed circuit so that it's working for its purpose. I think that is incredible, and it was funny because I was about to ask you what is a lesson that you can leave to the people.
That's it.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, that is it. That is all. We definitely got to do a part 2. If anything, man, I might ask you to do some more pods because this was super special to me. We've always wanted to be in a pod out to the world, so we 100% are gonna get some more episodes in. But I appreciate you, bro.
Okay.
Let's get it. We out of here.
Bladuh.
Value. Trying to check off these boxes. I know the old me couldn't have you.